All right, guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Chargers' third and final unofficial depth chart. If you've been following the team this offseason, it might not be that surprising, but there are a couple of things on there. Like, for example, the offensive line, specifically at left guard, Jamari Sawyer versus Zion Johnson. I mean, what about outside corner? Is it going to be Cam Hart? Is it going to be Dante Jackson? Well, that's what we're going to get into in this video, so let's do it. So, starting off with quarterback two, because as we know, Justin Herbert starting. Trey Lance or Taylor Heineke. Interesting because I would have thought from what we've seen in the preseason and even training camp that Trey Lance would have this locked down, but apparently not. I wouldn't even be mad if the Chargers carry two quarterbacks. Like, the Chargers have so much depth where they probably should carry two quarterbacks, especially because of the new rules. You really can carry one without it even counting. So I don't know why we would need Taylor Heineke. You guys might disagree. I'm going with Trey Lance. From what I've seen around the league, a lot of people still think he has potential. So if he's the backup to Herbert, that's pretty amazing. And Jim Harbaugh, if anybody can get something at Trey Lance, it is going to be him. For running back, Najee Harris is listed as the starter. I mean, this makes sense. Najee's a seasoned veteran. The Chargers went out and paid him. Amarian Hampton is listed as the backup. It says backup, but they're probably going to get their carry split. Well, not probably. They are going to get their carry split. That's what Greg Roman said. He said even if Harris doesn't play week one, then Hampton's going to split it with whether that be Idell. It's not going to be Raheem Sanders. He's at the bottom of the depth chart. Haskins, I don't know, man. I mean, Naeem Miller-Hines. I think the most talented backs on this team are Najee, Hampton, and Sanders. But if Idell does make it, Haskins is a lock because of his ability on special teams. But hey, man, I mean, for a third, fourth-string running back, like you really can't go wrong with that. Once Najee does come back, certainly it's going to be a big-time addition. Tight end, Will Disley or Tyler Conklin. Interesting because they're just two completely different tight ends. I'd have to favor Disley just because he's going into year two of the scheme. But Conklin also would be a solid addition as well. Arondé Gadsden, I'm sure a lot of you guys would have loved to see him get a bigger role. He's just not quite there yet. For wide receiver, Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnson are the only receivers listed as starting. But obviously, there's going to be three receivers out there. So is that Keenan Allen? Is it Trey Harris? Is it Keandre Lambert-Smith? Darius Davis? I don't really see him as like a dark horse. I do think he should be on the field in certain packages and schemes with his speed and ability to stretch the field. Brendan Rice, Jalen Reagor, obviously not going to be seeing a lot of time on the field. Offensive tackles, Joe Alt, Trey Pipkins III, Rashawn Slater out for the season. Interior offensive line, the Chargers, I mean, they've done this for like a month to this point. They've named Zion Johnson the starter. But Jamari Sawyer has been playing at right guard for Mekhi Becton. Even yesterday when Becton practiced for the first time in 3 weeks. But that was just individual drills. Becton did not participate in team drills. Do I think Jamari Sawyer is more talented than Zion Johnson? Would I be wrong to say I do? I don't know, man. Maybe, hopefully I'm wrong. As a Charger fan, hopefully I'm wrong. I don't have any faith in Bradley Bozeman and Zion Johnson. But again, hopefully I'm wrong. Because if I am, then the Chargers obviously are going to benefit off of that. Edge rushing. This is where things get interesting. Khalil Mack and Tuli Tuipulotu are locks. They are listed as the starters. But behind them, Bud Dupree, Caleb Murphy, and Kyle Kennard. Kennard, of course, was drafted by the Chargers. He's a rookie. Well, Caleb Murphy's undrafted. With his ability on special teams, he seems like he's going to make the roster. And I'm talking about first-team special teams. Bud Dupree's a lock to make the roster. Are the Chargers going to actually carry 5 edge rushers? I think they have to. They're not just going to leave Kennard off of it because they used a pick on him. I think it was a 4th rounder. I could be wrong in that. I'm sorry if I am, but in terms of Caleb Murphy, you've got to carry him. So it's looking like 5 edges are going to be here. Inside linebacker, we now know who's going to be starting next to Diane Henley. That's going to be Denzel Perryman. I mean, Troy Dye and Junior Colson never really had much of a chance, but they were competing for it, and they failed. They're the backups. Cornerback, Tarheeb Still, and Dante Jackson or Cam Hart. Wow. I mean, I thought for certain that Cam Hart would be next to Tarheeb Still, but I did mention, I've been saying this, and this makes me feel really good because I've been saying this for months, is keep an eye on Dante Jackson. He's very underrated. I don't think he was really used right by the Panthers, and now he's getting healthy, and he's playing with the Chargers, and would not be overly shocked if Dante Jackson does start week 1. I really do believe in him. Do I think he will? No. I think it will be Cam Hart. But keep an eye on that. Benjamin St-Juste, Jazir Taylor, and Dean Leonard as the backups. Pretty solid depth there. I mean, St-Juste did not look good in the preseason. So And then, like Taylor, yeah, I mean, just giving up touchdowns and a lot of yards through the air. Obviously, the Rams game was not ideal for the backup secondary. Safety, Derwin James Jr. and Louis Gilman or Elijah Molden. That's interesting. That feels like a coin flip. I like Molden a lot, and I think Gilman is good too. So I think those are just two talented safeties. And I'll even go as far as saying that safety's not the deepest position on the Chargers. I think that would have to actually go to the edge rushing room. But wow, is safety deep? I mean, Tony Jefferson's been making play after play in the preseason. Kendall Williamson actually looks promising, and R.J. Mickens has impressed me as well. So keep an eye on these safeties. And Derwin James Jr. is, I think he's the best safety in football. I'm biased, obviously, but there isn't another safety I would take over Derwin. He's the leader of this team, and him and Khalil Mack, of course. Special teams, Cameron Dicker and J.K. Scott. The long snapper is going to be Josh Harris. Darius Davis will serve as the kick and punt returner. Backup, Lad McConkey and Keandre Lambert-Smith. I just can't picture Smith on punt return. I think Lad McConkey would be excellent on punt return. I just worry about him having to take that role on because of injuries and things like that. He's kind of just one hit away from the Chargers season being over. Lad's just one of those players to where if he gets hurt, I mean, your season's over. The Chargers aren't going to be able to come back from that. Even with Lad McConkey, I don't think passing is going to be as crisp as people think, at least until like towards middle end of the year, just because, well, for one, Rashawn Slater's out. And for two, it's going to take time for Harris and Lambert Smith to actually get going here. And in terms of tight end, is it good enough? Tyler Conklin is a solid addition. Will Disley's okay. I don't know. I wish the Chargers had Antonio Gates. Like, why can't they just have Antonio Gates back? I mean, that would be perfect, right? But in all seriousness, in terms of the notes from yesterday's practice, I'm going to go ahead and quickly run through those. Starting off with Lad McConkey. He had his best route of the season in 11 on 11s. You love to see that. He was playing outside, matched up with cornerback. I'm going to butcher his name. Let's just call him Shelton. His last name, I'm so bad with names, so not even going to butcher it. But basically what he did was he faked an outside release off the line of scrimmage. Shelton bit on the fake. McConkey then cut to the inside as if he was running a slant route. Shelton tried to recover, but he was out of balance. McConkey had already separated, but he added a third move to the release, cutting back to the outside in a go route. I mean, a double move is enough, but three moves is kind of crazy. Good job by Ladd there. I don't even know who that player is, Brown. I make the Charger video every single day. Shelton. In terms of Quentin Johnson didn't practice. He suffered a concussion in Saturday's preseason loss. That was another thing as well. As I got a comment saying that hit was clean. I don't think it was. And from a lot of people that I've talked to, they said the same thing, as that should have been a disqualification. Not saying I'm definitively correct, but that hit just could not have been legal. I hate seeing guys go down like that with an injury. In terms of linebacker, Delshon Phillips, he was back in team drills Tuesday. Love to see that. Rookie offensive lineman Branson Taylor worked at both right and left tackle for the second straight day. Taylor Heineke did not participate in team drills. Trey Lance got all the second team work. If Lance has already looked better, like way better, and he's getting the second team work with Heineke out with an injury, I mean, why not just name him the QB2 to this point? And who would have thought that Trey Lance would be the backup quarterback for the Chargers this year? I mean, if Herbert does miss a game, which he might, like Herbert actually might miss a game or two. I mean, hopefully not, obviously, but if he does, I feel confident we could find a way to be able to win with Trey Lance. I mean, it wouldn't be pretty. A lot of running, and the defense would have to ball out, but I think Trey Lance can surprise some people. I mean, from the tape showed it, Trey Lance looks incredible. A lot of work to do as a passer, but just his athleticism and his touch on the ball and his arm, I mean, it shows why he was a top pick in the draft years ago, of course. That 2021 draft, was it? Was it 2021? I don't know. Was that Trey Lance's class? I don't know, but that's kind of it, guys. I'm going to let you go. My dinner's here, so peace.